Sometimes you get so excited for a trip that you end up forgetting to do something important before you head out. That's why we made this video, a checklist of 37 things to do before you jet off. Hey, I'm Tom from Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. This video details all the things you need to do from a month in advance to the day of your trip. When booking your flight, of course, you'll want to do research on your destination and apply for a visa if you're traveling internationally. But when should you make that packing list and notify your bank? We cover all that and more in this step-by-step checklist, so let's dive in. Making a packing list a month before your trip is the key to being prepared. This way you won't end up scrambling later in case you forget something important. And making your packing list this far in advance will alert you to any items you need and don't already have. You should also do your research on local customs and general climate when you book. This will give you a good idea of what you need to pack. Start your list with essential items first, like clothing, toiletries, travel documents, and any medications. Basically the things that you couldn't travel without. Then move on to non-essential items like electronics and other accessories. We have several packing lists over on our website for all types of travelers, whether you're a digital nomad or eco-conscious. So check those out for inspiration, link down in the description below. Once you've got your packing list sorted, then it's time to book your accommodation. Hotel and Airbnb prices typically go up the closer it gets to your trip, so it's better to lock it in early. If you're traveling internationally and plan to rent a car, then now is the time to apply for an international driver's permit. It can take a couple of weeks to receive the permit, so it's best to start the application process early. While you're at it, check the vaccination requirements for the country you're visiting and get any if necessary. And if you take prescription medication, try to get an advanced supply from your doctor. This is especially important on longer international trips, as your specific medication may not be available in the country you're traveling to. Just make sure you check the laws and regulations on bringing medicine into the country beforehand to confirm it's allowed. Lastly, after you've got your vaccinations and prescriptions in order, buy some travel insurance so you'll be covered in case of an emergency. These preparation tips are the types of things that we talk about at length in the Pack Hacker Pro community. The Pro community is filled with welcoming individuals that are eager to share their knowledge with you. Participate in discussions and chat directly with our team. Unlimited access to community-driven info gives you the tools you need to make each trip better than the last. And members get exclusive access to deals and giveaways with top brands. Save some cash and easily plan your next trip all in one place. Plus, joining Pro is the best way to support us so we can keep making content to help you travel smarter. Check out the link down in the description below for information on how to sign up. Now let's talk about what to do 1 week before leaving for your trip. Now's a great time to check the weather and adjust your packing list accordingly. Failing to do so before you pack is one of the biggest mistakes that travelers make. If you've already planned on packing flip-flops and shorts, but it's actually going to be rainy, you'll be unprepared, sad, and wet. And over-preparing with a slew of rain gear when it turns out to be sunny will just mean carrying extra weight for no reason. Once your packing list is finalized and you're prepared for the weather, then it's time to pack your bags. Start by laying out everything you think you need and try cutting it down to half. You can also separate your items into piles of things that you can pack early and things that you still need to use. For example, you wouldn't want to pack your toiletries and phone charger at this stage, since you'll be using both of them up until the day of your trip. Another thing to keep in mind is the total weight of your bag, especially if you're traveling with just a carry-on. Once you've packed everything up, weigh your bag by checking your weight without it. Then step on the scale with the bag and subtract the difference. We've got plenty of other packing tip videos from how to pack clothing to traveling on a budget, so make sure to check those out too. Now that your bag is ready to go, make sure you notify your bank that you'll be traveling. A lot of banks flag purchases outside of your typical area as fraud, so tell them the exact dates you'll be away and where you're going to be to avoid any issues. Few things are more embarrassing than having your credit card declined when you're trying to pay for a fancy dinner. And since we're on the subject, make sure you have all of your other finances in order before you leave. This means paying any upcoming bills that are due while you're away. You may also want to invest in a credit card to use in case of an emergency. Once your finances are in check, make arrangements for someone to take care of your household while you're away. Arrange for someone that you trust to come water your plants and feed your pets while you're away. And contact your local post office to put your mail on hold for longer trips. It's also a good time to confirm reservations for your accommodation, restaurants, and any specific events you plan on attending. It's 2 or 3 days before your trip and you're getting excited, but there are still a couple of things to do. Organize your documents because those are the last things you'll want to leave at home without. Store your passport, itinerary, insurance, visas, and tickets in a dedicated pocket or wallet that's easy to access when you're going through security. If you're flying, it is time to arrange transportation to and from the airport. To avoid paying expensive parking fees on longer trips, ask a friend or family member to give you a ride. You may even want to ask an extra person in case something comes up with your original driver. And if you plan on taking Uber or Lyft, schedule a pickup in advance. You can do the same for rides from the airport once you've arrived. Or if your accommodation offers transport, reserve it now so you aren't left hanging. It's also a good idea to share your itinerary, accommodation address, and contact info. Send photos or copies by email to a family member, spouse, or close friend in case of an emergency. Next, make sure all of your batteries and devices are charged. Plug in your camera, laptop, Nintendo Switch, and any other electronics you plan to take so they'll be fully juiced for the flight or drive. Then double check your bag to make sure you didn't forget to pack anything. This is your final chance to gather any last-minute items. If you're traveling to a new time zone, there are a couple of things that you can do right now to help avoid jet lag and adjust early. 2 or 3 days before, start eating dinner an hour earlier or later, depending on the time difference. Make the same adjustment for when you go to bed. Finally, even though it doesn't sound like much fun, clean your house. Pay special attention to washing dirty dishes, doing laundry that's piled up, and changing your sheets. It may sound like a hassle, but no one wants to come home to a dirty house after a long day of travel. You've already cleaned your house, but the day before is the last chance to get rid of any food that'll go bad while you're away. So take some extra time to throw out any perishables or eat them. And don't forget to take the trash out when you're done. You can also take this time to pack your travel snacks, which we recommend bringing along to save money on expensive food at the airport or on the road. Next, we like to double check our personal item bag to make sure that the essentials are packed. You don't want to rush back home from the airport because you forgot your passport or wallet. While you're at it, don't forget to unplug your laptop and anything else that's charging and pack both the chargers and the devices up as well. Then put your bags near the door so you can just grab them and go the next day. Before you go to sleep, check into your flight so you can save time at the airport. Most airlines have an app where you can check in 24 hours ahead of time and pick your seat if you haven't already. And if you're using a digital boarding pass, either download it or pull it up on your phone in advance. Make sure to set an away message for your email as well. Of course, this won't apply if you're traveling for work or working remotely. If your trip is leisurely, try turning off all work-related notifications so you can fully relax in peace. Once all that is sorted, then lay out your outfit for the next day. This will save you time on the day of your flight since you won't have to figure out what to wear. The day is finally here. Hopefully you are well rested and have enough time to eat breakfast or lunch so you're not tempted to buy a bunch of expensive food when you get to the airport. Then take out the trash again so you don't come home to any funky smells. As you get ready for the day, pack your toiletries after you use them. If you keep your toiletry bag by the sink, you can just drop your toothbrush, deodorant, or makeup inside as long as you go through your routine. Then put it in your bag near the top so it's easier to take out for the TSA security checkpoint. Remember to water any houseplants or gardens and be sure to put out food for your pets as well. You'll want to give them enough to last until whoever is coming to take care of your house gets there. Next, be sure to unplug appliances if you're going to be away for a while. TVs, microwaves, coffee makers, and lamps can use energy just by being plugged in. While you're at it, make sure to get your phone, earbuds, or Kindle if they're still charging. As you pack them into your personal item bag, triple check for your passport and any other important documents. There's no such thing as being too careful. Be sure to reduce the temperature on your thermostat too, so you don't rack up a pricey heating bill while you're away. And finally, grab your bags and go. So there you have it, 37 travel prep tips to check off before your next trip. If you have another tip that we didn't include, please leave it as a comment down below. Because remember, some of the best tips come from you, the Pack Hacker community, right here on YouTube. Thanks for keeping here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel, and we'll see you in the next video.